Welcome everybody to our very first episode of Destiny Crucible Eras, where we'll be analyzing each weapon era in Crucible from vanilla Destiny to the latest Rise of Iron meta, the Sidearm era. Now, before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed and hit the notification button to know when we post a video, as well as checking out our new Patreon to help support our content. This week, we'll be covering the Auto Rifle era, the very first era, although it was very short-lived due to the hand cannon era, which followed very shortly after. Although it was a short-lived era, with a small reincarnation a year later with the Doctrine of Passing, this era can be considered the most balanced era of them all, with every weapon tier being available, just primary weapons being the more dominant, especially with the auto rifle tier. Now, the archetype of the auto rifle, specifically the Shadow Price and the Grim Citizen, made a very easy transition from other FPSs to this current FPS. Now, we can also talk about the Suros regime, but the Suros regime is an infinite gun that everybody already knows about. And even if you're new to Destiny, you've recently found out that the Suros is just as good as it used to be. Now, for the sake of this video, I will only be talking about the two legendaries mentioned, the Shadow Price and the Grim Citizen. So let's get right into it. Now, the first weapon we have is possibly the best known primary auto rifle from year one, the Shadow Price. It recently returned and is available out of packages from Vanguard weapon rewards for leveling up your Vanguard, which is very simple. You can run strikes, do the Nightfall, do some stories, complete bounties, especially with the new weekly heroic and Nightfall bounties that we've got. Now, what's so special about the Shadow Price? Well, first, it's the the assault rifle equivalent of any possible game. Honestly, any FPS game or even third-person shooter that you see will have an assault rifle. The auto rifle is just a different take on that. Now, why was it so popular during this era? It was great stability, decent range, and its impact was fantastic. It was a medium rate of fire assault rifle, or auto rifle as we know it in Destiny, as well as the stability and recoil was just unbeat, especially when you take into factors perks such as rangefinder, perfect balance, which just increase the stability and increase the range. Now you'll see in the gameplay, clearly the range is fantastic, the impact and recoil control is perfect, but then again, the perk rolls also come into factor. Setting aside perk rolls, it is still the perfect weapon to transition into Destiny. If you come from Call of Duty or Halo, you'll know that the assault rifles in those games are pretty much the dominant guns, the first guns you pick up in any of the campaigns or PvP. So why was it this easy to pick up an auto rifle? It's a carbon copy. It's exactly what the assault rifles are. Now, what made this a popular gun was because we're creatures of habit. We wanted something that we were familiar with, and auto rifles were exactly that. It allowed us to transition into this game and start to enjoy it, until people discovered hand cannons, which will be left for another day, but I'm not a fan of hand cannons. Another gun was the Grim Citizen, although not seen much lately, although I do have a very good role with crowd control, and the crowd control perk just makes everything worthwhile. You kill one, then you start using it for the next kill, it takes half the shots, or around 3/4 of the shots. Now, what makes this gun, along with its counterpart, the Shadow Price, so good is because, once again, the stability and the impact. Rate of fire makes it easy to control, unlike the high rate of fire auto rifles, which, if they have no stability, you can't control them at all. And they're pellet shooters as well. This one's a laser. Doesn't matter what perk roll you'll have, the Grim Citizen and Shadow Price will always be lasers, as long as you have some decent recoil control and some cognitive ability. So, all this to say that this small and short-lived era was possibly the most balanced, because nobody knew anything about any other gun. It was essentially whoever had the better gun skills would win the gun battles. And in my opinion, that's how this game should have been. Until shotguns took over, snipers took over, short period of fusion rifles, and then the rest was just, hey, maybe I have the Thorn, maybe I have the Last Word, 2-shot guns, Hawkmoon, 2-shot ability. But that will be left for another day. Today, I just wanted to inform you guys that this auto rifle is still available, as well as the Grim Citizen. The Shadow Price and the Grim Citizen are still fantastic guns, lots of fun to use, and they really piss off people. So hopefully you guys will go pick one up. If not, run a few bounties. Hopefully, cross your fingers, pick one up, and hope it's got a good perk roll. That's it for me, guys. This was an awesome first video. If you guys really did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like. And make sure to check out our new videos that will be coming up very shortly. We'll have more auto rifle gameplay, aside from the one you just saw in this video, come up in a video later this week, as well as a possible stream. And in a couple weeks, we'll have our episode 2 of this series, where we'll be covering the second era in Crucible, which mixes in with the auto rifle era for a short period, which is the fusion rifle era, where we'll be covering the Plan C, as well as the Vex Mythoclast. And if you've been around since the beginning, you know how deadly the Vex Mythoclast was. But for now, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed.